The Department of Economic Development in Gauteng, in partnership with Family Tree Holdings, told us about some 44 or 45 local manufacturers that they're working with and supposedly empowering. Well, we've spoken to some of those manufacturers, and I can tell you, all is not as it seems. Let's go talk to them.
In or around 2023, Family Tree Holdings, an implementing partner of the Gauteng Department of Economic Development, was tasked with providing support to local manufacturers from Soweto, Alexandra, Thokoza, and other townships. These manufacturers were already running different kinds of businesses, creating and selling various types of products, each with a respectable degree of success. These men and women were to be trained by Family Tree through an incubation program. Their products were to be tested, licensed, or accredited, and finally, they would be given access to local and international markets. This in order for them to scale their operations, create more jobs, and grow the township, Gauteng, and South African economy. None of that happened. Instead, Family Tree, with the help of the department, has left the vast majority of the 45 manufacturers struggling, heavily in debt, and in many instances, completely out of business. Jabu says his business, creating cleaning supplies, is worse off now because of Family Tree. He's even considering shutting his doors.
I've never get any help from Family Tree. They said to us, our product will be on a DC. I'm next door DC in Kathorus. My product cannot go to the DC. They failed to test my product. They failed to assist with everything.
In the long list of its transgressions, Family Tree forced the manufacturers to leave their affordable business premises in townships and ordered them to use facilities of Co.Space in the suburb of Midrand. Family Tree promised to pay 50% of the rental fees. Many of the manufacturers moved, leaving their township customers and established township networks behind in pursuit of the South African dream. This move was not only a direct contradiction of a program that was set to revitalize the township economy, but it also left many of the manufacturers bankrupt as Family Tree failed to pay its promised 50% of the rent. Ngosi was one of the victims. He says he's not the only one whose goods were confiscated by Co.Space because Family Tree did not pay. He has now gone back to Alex.
So because I've seen now the trend of now having to receive eviction notices, and other people were actually being evicted around me because they were even failing to pay their share because Co.Space is quite expensive.
And these people were also part of
Family Tree. Yeah, because it wasn't just me. I think the few entrepreneurs, and I was seeing people getting their stuff getting locked in and all that, and businesses really dying.
Richard is also part of the 2-year incubation program. He says he too is a victim of Family Tree's broken promises. His vehicle brake manufacturing plant was damaged by storms. Officials from the department and Family Tree inspected the site and pledged to help. He's still waiting for the assistance promised early in 2024. His business remains closed.
And they said, I mustn't do anything, I mustn't touch anything. They're going to come back. That was the story from a day again and again. I tried to call them. I spoke to the chairman. I went to the head office where we were not allowed to go, but I went there anyway. They told me not to touch anything, and my shop is still like that. I own a non-existent shop because of their promise.
Paul says they traveled across the province from one workshop to another. They changed training service providers whenever Family Tree would fail to pay the trainers. He says the program was a complete waste of time, money, and other resources. He says he never asked for funding or even product testing, as his dental care and hygiene products already had all the necessary certification. He just needed help accessing the market, and Family Tree failed dismally.
I even compiled a list of potential companies that I'm asking them to approach, because my thing was to say to them, you can go and speak to these companies at a corporate level, because I have tried these companies as an individual. Sometimes at an individual level, you are not taken serious. So I asked them, I gave them the list and the contacts and the people to talk to, but they failed to do it simply because I wasn't even asking money.
Ndlandla laments Family Tree's poor communication, disorganization, and bungling of his application, saying the time delays cost him a funding opportunity that would have helped save his tonic beverage manufacturing company.
But the biggest, challenges that I've actually had with Family Tree is that, firstly, there's been a lack of communication on their part. We applied, I think, early Feb, but we only got a formal response in October. That's the first issue. The second part is that upon our application, they wanted us to then resubmit whatever documents that we'd already submitted to them, right? So we've been taken from pillar to post. That account has been moved from Pamela, it has been moved to Thorhanod at some point, So it's been basically those challenges getting around that, right?
Itumeleng says he regrets taking part in the manufacturer's incubation program.
Now we were derailed from what we were doing to doing something else, and wasted a lot of time, wasted our resources, and then I just said to myself, Family Tree has actually interfered with my normal running of business and cost me time and money and resources and everything.